There are two really, really fantastic football games this week in the NFL. The first one to me is the Jaguars and the Chiefs. The Jaguars and the Chiefs are playing in Kansas City. It is fantastic. Remember, what I do is I call these snake charmer games. You ever seen a snake charmer? It will charm a snake. It'll work some magic, and the snake it gets entranced. And when I watch certain games, I get entranced. I get charmed by the game. I can't take my eyes off of it. So these are my snake charmer games. The first one, again, is the Jaguars at the Chiefs on Sunday. There are two matchups I think are really interesting in this game. One is Blake Bortles versus the Chiefs defense, and the other one is Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs quarterback, against the Jaguars defense. First, I want to talk about Blake Bortles. Blake Bortles should shred the Chiefs defense on Sunday. The Chiefs defense is not very good. Remember, Blake Bortles, he just tore apart the Patriots a couple weeks ago, and the Chiefs defense is even worse. The Chiefs defense have given up 451 yards per game. They are last in the NFL as far as yards. They're 28th in the NFL for rush yards per game, giving up 123. They're 31st in pass yards per game, 328. And they're giving up 28.8 points per game, which is 25th in the NFL. Basically, the point is, the Kansas City Chiefs defense gives up a ton of yards. You can run on them. You can throw on them. They're going to give up a lot of points. They're not very good. I think the Jags are going to more than just move the ball. They're going to score a lot of points. I have complete faith that Blake Bortles is going to pick apart the Kansas City Chiefs defense. Unless Blake Bortles completely implodes, I would be shocked if he had a bad game. There's no way. I just don't see it happening. Now, Patrick Mahomes versus the Jaguars defense might be even more interesting. If Blake Bortles shows up with a pulse, he should really pick apart the Chiefs defense. Patrick Mahomes, I have no idea what's going to happen. The Jaguars have one of the best defenses in the NFL. I think they're ranked number one, something like that. But Patrick Mahomes, that's the matchup I want to watch. He will not be perfect. Patrick Mahomes has 14 touchdowns, 0 interceptions so far this year. I don't know that that's going to continue. I think that no interception stretch is going to end. This is probably the week Patrick Mahomes throws his first NFL interception. His first interception of the 2018 season. That's how I mean to say that. If Mahomes shredded the Jaguars, I would be shocked. I'd be so surprised. I hope, personally, I'll be honest, I'm rooting for Patrick Mahomes. I would like to see Patrick Mahomes shred the Jaguars. I like him. He's a good story. It's good for the NFL if he's dominating. But I'd be very surprised. And I'm actually picking the Jaguars to win this game. I think Blake Bortles is going to keep up very well with Patrick Mahomes because the Chiefs defense isn't very good. I mean, they should have lost to Case Keenum last week. And that's a toss-up. Case Keenum, Blake Bortles, I don't know. I know the Jaguars have better offensive personnel than the Broncos do. I could see the Jaguars very easily winning this game. And I'm wondering, is all of Patrick Mahomes' success? At some point, he's got to stumble. At some point, Patrick Mahomes has to have a bad game or has to have a game that's off. This is probably, if there's going to be any game this year that Patrick Mahomes is going to struggle, it's against the Jaguars defense. They're fantastic. And so I'm picking the Jaguars to beat the Chiefs, and it's very interesting. Honestly, it's a toss-up, but I think Patrick Mahomes is simply due to have a bad game. He's 14 touchdowns, no interceptions. The Chiefs are 4-0. I think they're likely to walk out of this game 4-1, and they'll be okay. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is going to struggle. He's had an incredible start to his season. I wouldn't panic. If the Jaguars beat the Chiefs, I would not panic if I'm a Chiefs fan. Now, my second most interesting game of the week is the Vikings at the Eagles. The Vikings are going back to Philadelphia, where they got annihilated last year in the playoffs. So in big games, the Vikings are 0-1-1. They have one loss and a tie. They have not won one of their big games this year. I think it's very interesting. This is the first time the Vikings are going back to Philadelphia since losing last year in the playoffs. Remember, they got annihilated in the NFC Championship game. The difference is the Vikings now have a new quarterback, Kirk Cousins. They invested a lot of money. They said, we're bringing in Kirk Cousins because he's better than Case Keenum and he can be the difference so we can win big games like this. I think this is a must-win game for the Vikings, and I don't know what to expect from the Eagles. Remember, Carson Wentz is coming off of an ACL injury. Carson Wentz was out for the entire rest of the year last year after tearing his ACL against the Rams. I watched that. It was a goal line play. It was rough. And Carson Wentz, since returning from his injury, simply has not looked 100%. He has not gotten back to that same level he was at the end of last year before he got hurt. Maybe this is the game, though, where he finds his rhythm. That's the wild card factor in this game. is Carson Wentz. If Carson Wentz plays like the MVP candidate he was last year, the Eagles are going to win this game. If Carson Wentz is not 100%, then the Vikings have a chance. And I do think the Vikings are better than people give them credit for. Remember, they were step for step with the Rams last week on Thursday Night Football. Yes, they slipped up against the Buffalo Bills. I don't fault them for that. I don't know that they were in the right headspace for that game. Remember, they had some stuff off the field. I think they were looking ahead to the Rams. But I'm leaning Vikings. I'm quite cautious in this game. I'm going to go with the Vikings. I think the Vikings are going to win. But I think it's a very fascinating game. It's a game I'm not going to be able to get my eyes off of. Vikings versus Eagles in Philadelphia is a huge game. I recommend you watch. I can't wait to talk about it next week. It will be probably the lead of the show. And I'm very, very excited to see what happens on Sunday in Philadelphia. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. It means a lot to me. My name is Zach Schaumler. This is my podcast, Strong Opinion Sports. It means a ton. And if you are not aware, you can subscribe to Strong Opinion Sports on iTunes, on SoundCloud, and on YouTube. You can find the full entire hour-long podcast on YouTube, or you can find smaller little breakout clips like the one you just watched. Help me grow. If you like Strong Opinion Sports, help me grow the show by telling your friends about it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever it is. Help me grow by telling your friends about the show. My name is Zach Schaumler. Thank you so much, and have a great day.